Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. I was just like looking down, I was like, is my coffee cup there? My coffee cup is not there. But I could stop it because I just began. We've only just begun. Do you guys love the Carpenters? Oh my God, I loved the Carpenters back in the day. Anyway, I'm like here to here to here to here. Let's pull it in and let's focus. Do not need my coffee. I can wait 10 or 15 minutes for my coffee. Let's talk, first of all, about the book Magic that many of us are doing. I also have my notebook with me, which at the beginning has all of my secret manifestations and dreams. I'm trying to write a couple of them a day that I want to see come true in the next couple years. And then in the back, in the second section, I have my gratitude lists. We are currently on day 5, and today was about magical money. And then I also have my gratitude list, which are like completely, nobody else could read that but me because it's total chicken scratch. But I am loving this book so much. I forgot how much I loved it the first time. And you know, I was thinking as I was reading this today, I don't know what part it was. Let me see if I can find the part that I was looking at. But it was talking about, it's hard to be grateful for the money that you have when you don't have a lot. If you guys are keeping up with this, chapter 5 is called, or day 5 is called Magic Money. And she says in here at one point, feeling grateful for money when you have very little is challenging for anyone, but when you understand that nothing will change until you're grateful, you'll be inspired to do it. And it was interesting because Melody Beatty wrote a book called, I think, 40 Days and 40 Nights. I'm going to have to look into this and find it. I have the book somewhere. If I can find it, then we can do that book after we do this one, and it'll be like 2 to 3 months of gratitude. Won't that be great? But in there, she's telling this, I think it was in that book, she was telling the story about this house that she bought. And it was basically a money pit that her husband convinced her to buy. And she had a toddler, and she was also pregnant. And one day she decided that she wanted to make this like into the house of her dreams, but she was very discouraged. I don't know what that long pause was for. But anyway, I was trying to think about this story because I don't want to get it wrong. But she was sitting in the, she started like this whole idea of like paying it forward gratitude. And so she sat on her floor in the dining room of this old house and that she hated this house. She hated the carpet, she hated the walls, she hated everything about it. But she started doing a reverse way of, instead of saying, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, she started saying, I am so grateful for this house. I'm grateful for these floors. I'm grateful for this carpet. I'm grateful for these walls, right? To the point where she, like, you know, in her mind was grateful for all these things that she had. And over time, she talks about how she ripped up the carpet, and underneath there were, you know, real hardwoods from back in the day. And she would find a couch down the street and haul it in, and then she would, like, you know, recover it with material that she found at the fabric store, and that she found wallpaper, and she put wallpaper up, and each room was different. She painted the rooms and stuff, and she made it into this marvelous house that she ended up loving. And later, she was like on Oprah or something, and they were at her house in Malibu. This is Melody Beatty, who we read the books about. She was telling the story. And the house was that house that she originally had was so full of love and gratitude, you know, and that she was telling the story and saying that she was on Oprah, and Oprah was like they were giving a tour of the house in Malibu, and she told Oprah that to this day, like her daughter, that's still her favorite house is that first house that they lived in. And you know, she thinks back on like all of the love and the gratitude that she put into that house. You don't have to have a lot financially to be grateful for what you have. And I think, you know, sometimes in my life, the less I had, the more grateful I was for it. Especially when it was down to like, how am I going to pay this bill this month? You know, when it was like electric bills and things like that. I'm going to move some stuff around. You guys remember those, you know, the scenes in Roseanne? I mean, I lived that for much of my life, you know, and trying to figure out like, well, I would love to have, you know, it makes me even more grateful today. Like when I go out for a meal, that there were so many days that I just couldn't do that. I can remember like a special date when my husband and I started dating and started working on debt together. It was like going to Applebee's and doing like the 2 for $20. Like that was a special date for us, you know? And I think sometimes the less that you have, the more, you know, grateful you are for what you have. So, and it's kind of the idea is to never lose that, right? And continue to be, if your life expands and you get more, to continue to be grateful for each and everything and each, you know, ounce. So in the book, she takes you through like all of your past, your history of growing up, and like every moment that you've been given money and things like that. And yeah, it's just really, really cool. So anyway, let me know what you guys are thinking about this. If you're keeping up with it, have you skipped a day? You don't want to skip a day because then you got to go back 3, right? So you want to keep up with this. We're doing good. We're 5 days into the 28. So I'm feeling miraculous. I think it's awesome. All right, let's get into the meditation for today. I just brought these 2 books out, the Melody Beatty books. I need to clean my glasses. They're a little dirty. I wear them so much. I actually just bought 2 pairs of progressives of this brand Caddis that I like because then I can keep them on all the time and I don't have to take them off. It's the taking off and setting down and picking up with my fingers that makes them so dirty. Okay, so let's read from the Melody Beatty Journey to the Heart because that was the first one that I picked up. November 13th. November 13th, you're almost home. I think I read this one last year. This one sounds familiar. I only had a few hundred miles to go, but the stretch ahead seemed endless. I was tired and near the end of this adventure. I remembered the meditative words of a friend. Yeah, I did read this one last year. Should I read a different one? What if I read both of them last year on this date? Let's see what the 13th is on the other book. Well, that's about taking care of ourselves. We can read this one. I should have brought all 5 of them. November 13th, you're almost home. I only had a few hundred miles to go, but the stretch ahead seemed endless. I was tired and near... I always think though that if I read the same one twice, a year apart, that like I'll say, you know, such different things the following year. Anyway, November 13th, you're almost home. I only had a few hundred miles to go, but the stretch ahead seemed endless. I was tired and near the end of this adventure. I remember the meditative words of a friend, words that had helped me several years ago, words that help me again now. The life force is a force within you. You have the power to fire it, stoke it, expand its energy throughout your body. Don't clench up, tighten up. Don't clench up, tighten up. That limits the life force within you. Stop cramping your muscles and telling yourself you can't. If you say it long and loud enough, you'll begin to believe it. Relax. Relax your arms, your legs, your neck, your body. You've come so far. Look back at all the miles you've traveled. What lies ahead is a small portion, such a small portion of that. Breathe deeply. When you become afraid or tired, your breathing becomes shallow. That inhibits the fire. It keeps the life force from reaching your muscles, your vital organs, your brain. Breathe deeply. Stoke the fire within. Take a moment now to picture that core of light within you. See it in your solar plexus just inches below your navel. Picture it as a glowing coal, a candle, a flame. With each breath you take, picture the flame getting stronger, glowing more brightly until you feel the vital life force begin to surge through you. Feel yourself being filled with healing, life-giving energy with each breath you take. Feel the flame burn more brightly within you. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. Feel your power spread through your body. Feel the power of the universe come in through your breath. Feel that power connect with and flame the burning coal of energy that is within you. You've come so far. You've almost mastered that lesson, accomplished that task, unveiled that insight, the one you've been struggling with. Of course you're tired. You've been working hard. Take a moment now to light the fire within you. Let it give you the energy you need. Don't stop now. You're almost home. I love this meditation. I think, you know, for so many of us out there that are doing like internal work on ourselves, and I mean like the work on our, you know, mental health and the work on improving ourselves and being a better person, and, you know, like reading self-help or motivational books or doing workshops like, you know, kind of like this that we're doing. There's like the Course in Miracles too that a lot of people used to do. Do people do those in the Course in Miracles anymore? I've never done it, but I know a lot of people have done it. Or the weekend workshops, or the classes, or being, you know, in a master's program or graduate program, or getting your GED, or taking, you know, some enrichment course, or whatever you're doing, you know. A lot of churches have classes as well that you can take. You know, I think we always think of ourselves as like growing and learning, right? But like that can just be like this feeling of getting back to the center, getting back to home too. You know, it's like the more I nest and the more I read my cozy mysteries and I kind of get back to the center, is I feel like I'm getting closer to home too. And that home is really about who we are inside, you know. there's a story that I share this a lot. Maybe I'll talk about this on my vlog tonight. But when my dad found me after the night that I got sober, he found me walking over the interstate, and I was in a leather jacket, boxer shorts, and I mean, it's laughable looking back, but it's really sad at the time. Boxer shorts and like these black boots that I had. And when he found me, I just kept on saying over and over and over again, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. And he said, and he still says to this day, it's funny because I just got off the phone with my dad. He says, you know, like, I don't think that you meant like home, like your apartment. Like, I think you meant some kind of like it was weird. He was like, when you were saying it, it was like a spiritual home kind of place. I think we all each have a spiritual home, you know, a place where, you know, like Dolly Parton says, home is where I hang my wig. You know, it's that. It's where we feel at peace and serenity with ourselves, you know, and asking yourself, what is home to you? You know, a home could be a person, you know. A home isn't just four walls and a roof. A home could be a person or a relationship or a feeling, you know. And I remember there was a time when they were like, my home group meeting like moved from building to building. And when we started going to the new building, it didn't feel like my 12-step meeting. It didn't feel like the same meeting, right? Because we're in a new building. And I was talking to my best friend, and she and I were talking, and I said, but you know, really, if you think about it, it's like the program is our home. It's not the building that hosts the meeting. It's the program. And she was like, yeah, you're right. We started talking about that, you know, that home is the people and the experiences and the sharing that we've had with one another, you know. It's a good question to ask yourself. What is your home? Anyway, let me know what you think about all of that in the comment section below. And if you're doing the magic book, I hope some of you are. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.